Hello, and welcome to the Champion Faction, where I share my love of Stonemaier Games. I'm Jason Martin, and today I am going to be doing a solo playthrough of the newest game from Stonemaier Games, and that is Expeditions. Now, many of you may know Scythe is my #1 game of all time, my favorite game. And when I heard that there was a sequel coming to tabletops, I was really excited about that. Now, to be clear, this isn't an expansion. It's not really officially compatible with Scythe in any way whatsoever, but it takes place in the same world that Jacob Brzezalski has built, the 1920 plus alternate history world that Scythe was set in. It uses the same style art. Now, it's all new artwork, but it's still in that same style of the 1920 plus world. It uses mechs, it uses characters, and it actually does use some thematic and gameplay elements that are similar from or maybe drawn from Scythe in one way or another. But really, it is a very different game. I've heard a lot of people who love Scythe, who don't really care for Expeditions, and a lot of people who really didn't care for Scythe who love Expeditions. I'm going to be doing solo playthrough today, which means I'll get to move around some of these awesome, huge mechs around the board, and I have a review that will be going up soon about what I think of the game overall. Spoiler alert: I really like it, but I'll put a link in the description to my review, and the eye in the top right corner. You can click on that. But for right now, take a look at a solo playthrough of Expeditions. Welcome back to the 1920 plus world of Scythe and now Expeditions. I have a full solo game set up here. I've decided that I will be playing as the Highlander. So this is my Highlander mech, and my character and companion are Gunther and Nacht. Gunther allows me to either solve or gain a green worker, and if I gain a green worker, then I can use that with Nacht, which allows me to gain the core value of any other card I control, or I can vanquish. So now the Automa level, I'm playing level 3, so that basically means that they put their glory tokens out quicker than levels 1 and 2, and they get more points for each of their scoring conditions. The Automa only scores points for map tokens, corruption tokens, which are in here, and their glory stars. They also have 8 glory stars instead of the regular player only having 4. And they put theirs out as this moves along. So it actually feels like they don't do much in the beginning other than kind of block spaces out here. But as this token tends to move and they remove more of these glory stars, these glory tokens, they will start uncovering sections of the board, uncovering hexes, as well as taking corruption tokens, which again is what give them points. All right, so I think I'm going to start, and I'm going to go first. So I am indeed going to, well, we start out by moving this cube here and taking all 3, move, play, and gather. So I'm here at the base camp, and I'm going to start out by moving here to the sawmill, and I'm going to gather 1 red worker, and then I'm going to use that red worker to play Gunther, put the red worker there, and that gives me a green worker. So then on a future turn, so that ends my turn, but on a future turn, I can then use the green worker with Nacht. All right. Oh, and I always forget this, but I get the core value, which is 1 guile for playing that card. All right, so now we have the Automa deck, which is, as with a lot of Automa decks, a bunch of similarly styled cards that do a couple of simple things. But we shuffle this deck up, remove 2 that we will put back in the next time we have to shuffle. And now we're just going to play 1 card and see what it does. So up here in the top corner, or the top section, there would be a cube, and that would tell me to move this cube 1 space. There's no cube there, so I don't do it. However, this broom icon means that I now sweep next to the northern mech. So this mech is the northern mech, and it stays on the northern territories. And then there's the central mech that stays on the central territories. And the top part of the card says what the northern mech will do, and the bottom part of the card says what the central mech will do. And this says the northern mech will sweep any cards that are adjacent to it. Well, right now that's this one, so this card will go into the sweep pile. And then if it had 4 glory tokens placed, which it doesn't, it would uncover, it would basically explore, uncover one of the tiles. It doesn't. Oh, I actually have these in the wrong spot. These need to start on those sides. So this one will always move to my right. This one will always move to my left. And then they'll just circle back around. So instead, since it can't do that top one, it will move twice. So just 1, 2. The bottom one, again, no glory star, so it moves 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that's the Automa turn. Okay, so now back to me. I have to decide if I want to move and gather, play and gather, or move and play. And what do I want to do? I would like to get more cards. So I think I'm going to move and gather. Well, I have to replace this one. And I am going to move and gather. And where shall I go? I will go one. Actually, I could go here. And I just get the top card of the deck, but this symbol lets me rescue, which means bring back into my hand a card. I think I want to do that. So this is the card I get. It's an item card, the Deceptor Crystal. So this requires a yellow worker, and whenever I use that yellow worker, I can gather. And whenever I gather, I can pay 1 guile to include a benefit covered by corruption on my location. So we'll see if I use that, but I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to bring this one back and rescue that. So now Nacht and Gunter are in my supply. I have 2 workers. This 1 card is in my active row. Unless you're told otherwise, whenever you acquire cards, they always go in your active row and you can't use them until you refresh. All right, so that was my move. I moved 1, I gathered right there. All right, now for the Automa. Again, no cube movement. They don't have any stars, so we're just going to move this one once and this one once. That's it. Very simple Automa movements. They become a little bit more complex later in the game when they have more stars out. They can do more stuff, but right now they're just kind of moving around the board, ostensibly blocking places. Although since they don't come into the southern tiles, they're never going to block any of those places. All right, so what do I want to do now? Well, I have to move this. So again, I can either move and play or gather and play. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gather and play, and I'm going to do the play first. And I'm going to play Nacht and get 1 strength. And then put the green worker on it. Gain the core value of any other card you control or vanquish. Well, there's nothing to vanquish where I am, so I'm going to get the core value. Let's say I get another guile right there. It says any card I control, so that's in my hand or in my active row. Once I've upgraded items or melded meteorites or solved quests, those are no longer considered in my control, so those wouldn't count for that purpose. All right, so now I'm going to gather. And again, I draw a card, which is what that purple icon means on the tile. This is a quest for 16, which is in the north. So to complete this quest, I'll have to find tile 16 and go there and do that. We don't know where that is yet, but it requires a red worker, and it allows me to rescue another card. If it had a worker on it, I can gain a guile and a strength. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. And you know what? I think I'm gonna, so this allows me to rescue a card. I think I'm gonna rescue that card I just drew. I was planning on rescuing Noct to be able to do his ability again, but I have a red worker that I can play there on my next turn, so I think I may do that, or a future turn, maybe not my next. All right, Automa. My goodness, they are not advancing that cube. In past games, they've advanced that pretty quickly, but this time they're not. So they're just going to move 1, 2, and 1. Back to me again. All right. So I can't do play and gather. I have to move this somewhere. So do I want to move and play? Yeah, I think I do. I'm going to move, and I'm going to move 1, 2, which lets me gain this map token and flips this over. And it is the mining town. So this is a central location. This allows me basically a free play action. So when you gather here, if you take this option, this is an either or. This allows you to play a card, whether or not you're actually taking the play action. And if you are, that basically you're going to play twice. And this is an upgrade action, but I have to put corruption totaling at least 5. So let's take out 1 at a time, and that's 3. So I have to draw out another tile, and that is 5. So we ended up with 8 on that. So that was my move. Now I'm going to play. I'm going to play this card that I had gotten in my last turn, and that gives me 1 strength. And I put this red worker on it, and so I can rescue another card. If it had a worker on it, gain a guile and a strength. So I'm going to rescue Noct, and that gives me a guile and a strength. So I don't quite have enough to clear that yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting close. Oh, and I also forgot, my mech ability says I can gain cards directly to my hand. I hadn't done that. I gained 2 cards, put them both in my active row. I could have put them in my hand. I'll have to remember to do that later. I've never played with this mech ability, so I may end up forgetting that from time to time. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I did my move, I did my play. Now it's back to the Automa. Now we move the cube just once, and then we move the northern mech once, and we move the central mech 3 times. 1, 2, and it basically ignores me and goes to there for 3. All right. You know what? I think I want to. I really would like to find a way to start clearing out some of this corruption. I need 2 more guile in order to actually be able to get that, and I don't see a way for me to get 2 more guile on this 1 turn, so I may have to play it a little bit differently. Let's see here. What can I do? Oh, actually, this allows me a second play. So if I did a play and gather, which right now I'm here, if I did a play and gather, that would allow me to play 2 cards. I think that only still gets me 1 guile. I need 2 to get that 5. I'm only at 3. I need 5. I can get 1 with Gunter here. with a play action, and then I could do another play action to play knocked. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. At least not on this turn. I'm not going to be able to do it on this turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play and gather, and I'll probably have to do a refresh. Then when I come back, I should have enough to be able to take care of those corruption tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, which gives me 1 guile. And then I'm going to gather, which this symbol lets me play a card. So I'm going to play another card right there, knocked. And that gives me 1 strength. Put my green worker there, gain the core value of any other card I control. I'm going to get Gunter again. That gives me my 5. Unfortunately, I've already played knocked that would allow me to vanquish, so I can't do that now. But that's okay. I'll do it after my refresh. Okay, Automa turn. Move the card again, and now it goes over the first glory token star. So I take that star off, and we're just going to put it here at base camp. And then we're going to move this mech 1, 2, 3 times. And okay, so this one says this mech will now sweep all adjacent cards, the central mech. So this one has 3 adjacent to it. They're all gone. Put out 3 new cards. And says if it has 1 glory token out, then it explores. It does have 1 glory token out, so it's going to explore right where it is. It can do it either where it currently is standing or up to 3 spaces away. Well, where it's currently standing is available, so it's going to take that. It takes the map token and flips this over. Okay, the weird forest. So this is one of the tiles where you can acquire purple workers, or you can meld a meteorite. Again, we have to put corruption out equally or greater than 5. This 1 token is 5, so that's all we need to put out. And that is the Automa's turn. So that was the first turn that the Automa had where they did more than just move. Now, these map tokens are going to be worth 1 coin each at the end of the game. And as it goes along, it will also be collecting glory tokens, which will be worth 2 points at the end of the game. So I want to try to get those map tokens and get the glory, or get the map tokens and get the corruption tokens before the Automa has a chance to. Not going to do that right now, however, because I am going to refresh. So I bring my workers and cards back into my hand, move my cube to the refresh spot, and that's my whole turn. But my next turn will be super powered. All right, moving the cube again. All right, Northern Mech sweeps. And then it says it requires 3 glory stars, which it doesn't have, so it's going to move 1, 2, 3. Central requires 4, which it doesn't have, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Back to me. All right, so we're going to move, play, and gather. Well, let's see here. I think we'll play first. Yeah, I think we'll play first. We are going to play knocked with the green worker, so that gives me 1 strength for playing knocked. And the green worker allows me to vanquish, and if this vanquish removes the location's final corruption, I can gain the result revealed benefit, which I think I will do. So that's 5, bring this down to 0, and then 3 brings this down to 2. And the revealed benefit is an upgrade. Well, I have this, which allows me to upgrade and says, whenever I gather, I may pay 1 guile to include a benefit covered by corruption at my location. So, yeah, unfortunately, I just used all my guile, so I probably won't be able to use that this turn necessarily. Yeah, probably not. So that was my play action. And so now I can move and gather. What do I want to do to move and gather? It'd be nice to get a purple worker. Not that I have a card that can use it right now, but I might want to get one of those. Do I want to reveal? You know what? I think I am going to gather where I am, which lets me play another card. So I'm just going to play Gunter. I'm not going to put the worker down because I'm going to save the worker here. But I am going to gain the guile. So that allows me, so that's my gather action right there. So because I gained that guile, well, there is no corruption token there, so I can't gain that benefit. That's okay, no big deal. But I gained a guile. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to move right here, get this map token, flip this over, so we're exposing more. Okay, the research base. This provides either 2 guile or after the corruption's gone, it's another upgrade location. And we start out with 4 and 4, so that has 8 as well. Yeah, I'm thinking I need to get some more cards because eventually I do like melding. Melding is a really good strategy that I've found. So I want to get more. I want to get some meteorite cards to meld. There's only one out right now, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get that. Okay. So was that my entire play? I moved. Yeah, I played this. Gathered by playing Gunter, and then I moved. Okay, yeah. All right. Automa. Move the card again, or move the cube again, and moving the mech, northern mech twice. All right. The central mech, 0 stars need to be out, which of course there's 1. Or minimum of 0, so 1 counts. So we're going to explore again right where it is. Gets that map token. And that reveals the warehouse, which allows me to get any adjacent card. So basically any card in these 2 positions, or after corruption is gone, can meld a meteorite. And that 5 does the trick. That's all it needs, just that 1. And now back to me. All right, I think I am going to move and play. I'm going to move and play. And I'm going to come down. I want to eventually get down here. I can't get down here right now, but I'm going to get down here right in a moment because I want to use this to try to get one of these cards. Hopefully that meteorite's still going to be out there. I'd like to get that. But for right now, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to play this card with the red worker. I can rescue another card, and if it has worker, I gain 1 guile and 1 strength, so I'm rescuing not. It does have a worker, and so get 1 guile. That was right there. 1 guile, 1 strength. All right, Automa. Moving the cube again. 2nd glory token being placed. So it can't do the top, so it moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And the bottom, again, they're going to explore. Now, you can't explore here because it's already been explored, but it can explore on the next spot. As long as it's within a range of 3, it will do that action. So it goes ahead and gets this. I'm not really doing a good job of preventing it from exploring, but that's, you know, that's hard to do entirely. And let's see, 4. And this spot either gives 1 guile and 1 strength, or allows for the boast action, which is how you place glory tokens. All right. So now I am going to move and gather. So I'm going to move here, gather the meld stone. So this is a meteorite. And with a purple worker, oh, maybe I should have gotten the purple worker earlier. With purple worker, meld another meteorite. And gain, if I have 2 melded meteorites, gain 1 guile per melded meteorite. And then once I meld it, I gain $1 or 1 coin per melded meteorite. So this really works better if you're planning to meld a lot of meteorites, which I would like to do. There aren't any others out right now, but I would like to do that. So I'm going to use my mech ability now, and cards going directly to my hand. So that was my move and my gather. Refresh these cards. All right, another meteorite out. Hopefully I can find a way to get that, which on my next turn, if I gather again, I would be able to. Okay, Automa, move the cube. Move north twice. And if there are 2, okay, this one's sweeping. So it's sweeping this meteorite that just came out. It's not a meteorite, that's a bummer. And then it's going to explore again because it has 2 glory tokens out. So it's going to come back 1. Oh wait, you know what? It started here. It can't get to another exploration tile or tile to explore in 3 moves. It would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't get there. So we're just going to do the movement, which is just a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's not exploring that turn after all. Okay, so we are going to, let's play and gather. And we are going to, unfortunately there aren't a lot of cards I'm particularly interested in gathering. I suppose I could gather this. Drive Off the Marauders. It's a quest card at location 4, which is right here. And it requires a red worker, discard a card to gain 2 strength. I don't know if I'm going to use that power, but it's nice to have a quest card in hand and be able to fulfill a quest eventually. I find that I don't find that it helps me a ton to complete quests early in the game. The exception to that is if you complete a quest with your character card, you do get to get the core value of all of your completed quests. So that can be that is a benefit, but really the biggest benefit of quests are for in-game scoring. So you just want to have them done by the time the game ends. And now I'm going to play Not again to place a green worker. Well, first of all, get my strength, the core value of Not, and then gain the core value of another card I control, or I can vanquish. Oh. No, I'm not at a place I can vanquish. Never mind. So I will gain the core value. I have a lot of strength, so I feel like I need to use that to get more guile. Right now, Gunter is the only card I control that gets me guile. Okay, so that was my turn. Now I'm going to play the Automa card. Again, moving the cube once. And then now the north is going to explore. And explores right where it is. I may regret letting it explore so much. All right, so now this is an and. So there are 2 things you can do, and you can do both of them. There's no slash to differentiate or. And this is gain an adjacent card and meld a meteorite after the corruption's been taken care of. So that's a 5, and this requires 8 or more corruption, and there's a 4. So there's a total of 9. Guile of 5 and strength of 4. Okay, and then on the bottom, it doesn't do the top action, so we're just gonna move twice. 1, 2. Okay, so on my turn, I think I'm going to play and move. And I'm going to play this Drive Off the Marauders card. And you can imagine that that's there next to knocked with a red worker, and this allows me to discard a card, which just means it goes in my active row, to gain 2 strength. So it gives me 6 strength and 3 guile. Oh, and I get 1 more strength. I always forget to get the core value of my card. So that actually gives me 7 strength and 3 guile. And I'm just going to move here, get that map token, mainly so the Automa doesn't get it. And it's the crater rim. So this gather action allows you to sweep cards and refresh the cards into your hand, or you can upgrade. And let's see what we get in terms of corruption tiles put out. 3 guile and 5 strength. Okay, that's actually pretty good because I'm out of cards. I can't really play any more cards in order to vanquish that. I have enough to vanquish these, but I don't have the cards to do it. However, on my next turn, I could gather and play, I suspect. Yeah, because I could gather first, which would bring my cards back into my hand, and then I could play a card that would vanquish. So I think that's what I'm going to do in my next turn. Well, let's see what the Automa does. All right, we're moving this again. We get to they're taking off another glory token. The north is sweeping that card. And there's another meteorite. That's good to see. And then it is going to explore this tile right here. And that allows you to take any, that gather action, take any face-up card, and there's a boast action. So let's see what glory goes there. This is a 3 strength, or corruption. 3 strength corruption and a 3 guile corruption. Okay, and in the central, can't do the top, so we're just going to move 1, 2. Okay, so now I said I was going to move play and gather. I'm going to do the gather first, and I'm just going to sweep all of these. These are all item cards. I'm not really going for a strong item strategy. I would like to see more meteorites. Well, 1 came out, so we have 2 meteorites out. And then I'm going to refresh my hand, so I bring all of these back and all of these 5 cards back. And now I'm going to play Knocked. Oh, you know what? Is that? No, that doesn't help me. Never mind. I was thinking my item ability, which lets me pay a guile to whenever I gather to get the benefit covered by corruption at my location. I don't really have. I don't really have an item. This would allow me to upgrade, and I don't have enough item to upgrade, so I can't take advantage of that. And which also means I can't really take advantage of when I use that to vanquish the last token, I can use the bottom benefit. Well, I'm not going to be able to. So 5. So that brings me down to 2. And then 3. That brings it down to 0. Oh, but I do get the 1 strength for playing Knocked, so I'm back up to 3 there. All right, so that was my gather and my play. I got rid of that corruption. Now I have 4 corruption tiles. That's pretty good for this stage of the game. Not a lot of there's usually at this stage there's a lot more corruption, but by the time I'm able to get 4. Okay, so we've gone through the entire Automa deck. We're going to bring these 2 cards back in, shuffle them up. Okay, take 2 off the top. And all right, move the cube. And we're going to move 1, 2, and sweep this. So that meteorite's gone. An item comes out in its place. And then it's going to explore if it can get there. 1, 2, it can't get there. That's the only one it could get to. So it's just going to move 3. 1, 2, skips me 3. All right. So it could get there by its movement, but the rules state if it's within 0 and 3 spaces to explore or to vanquish, it will do that. It was within 4. Now I was able to get there with, skipping over my tile, but it can't do that for a vanquish or an explore action. All right, so what do I want to do now? Actually, I think I would like to move and play. And I'm going to play this with the red worker. That gives me 1 strength and then allows me to discard a card in order to gain 2 more strength. What card do I want to discard? I think I will discard Gunter. And that gives me 1, 2 strength. So now I'm going to move here. And then on my next turn, I'll have enough to vanquish that, which will allow me to immediately meld. And I have a meteorite to meld. That is a good plan. Yes. Oh, except my vanquish card is right there. I probably should have played this to rescue. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take that back. For my play, I may still play that, but I'm going to pull this back, take away the 1, 2, 3 that I did there, and instead I'm going to play this card, which gives me 1 strength anyway, and play this worker, rescue another card. I'm going to rescue that. If it has a worker on it, then gain 1 guile and 1 strength. That's what I should have done, and that is what I indeed have done. All right. Yes. So next we're going to play the Automa. All right, no cube movement this time. And it is going to collect corruption if the north can get there, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the nearest corruption, so it can't get there. So it's just going to move 1, 2, and the central is just going to move 1. All right, now I know I want to play in order to vanquish that. Do I want to play and move or play and gather? I think I will play and move. Or that's what I just did. Do I want to, yeah. So I have to move, I have to play and gather. That's okay. So I'll go ahead and gather, get a purple worker. I don't have anything to use it with except for the meteorite that I'm about to meld. But now I'm going to play knocked, put the green worker on there. Allows me to vanquish by spending that. Oh, and I get 1 strength for playing knocked. And vanquish that 5, which uncovers that, and knocked allows your companion allows you to complete what is underneath if you vanquish the final tile. So this allows me to meld a meteorite. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I gain 1 coin for each melded meteorite. Only have 1, so there we go. Now, hopefully I can get more melded or more meteorites to meld pretty soon. So I may, yeah, I will probably be moving to a location that would allow me to get that pretty soon here. This one would allow me to get a card, so hopefully we can do that. All right. Move the cube. Moving north 1, 2, 3. Dadgummit, that's where I was going to go. So it's officially blocking me now. And then it would explore, but we skipped over that spot earlier. So now we're just going to move 1, 2. These mechs don't move backwards. They only move forward, except for when they circle back. All right. So now my play is a little... Let's see, I can get down here. That's not exactly where I wanted to go. I want to get this meteorite in my hand. And right now, the only spots available that give cards are these two up here. This one I can't get to anyway because I'd have to stop to explore there. Yeah, I think this is the only way to get that card. 1, 2, 3. So I'm actually moving and gathering, and then I'm going to gather this card. I'm going to go ahead and gather it to my hand, which my mech ability allows me to do, and that's my turn. Okay, Automa, move the cube. That's their 4th star coming off the board. So now that they have 4, north is going to sweep and then explore. So it will move over here and explore this tile. So this gives 1 purple worker, a coin, and an upgrade action. You need to put 8 or more corruption on there. And this is a 4. And this is a 5. All right, refill that. Still not a meteorite. And this and the central is going to take 2 corruption tokens because it is already at 4 stars. So it's taking both of these. All right. So now there are no meteorite cards out available. Well, where could I go? Man. So this meteorite I have a purple worker to put on it, and it allows me to vanquish. And if I have 2 melded meteorites, I can gain a strength per 5 value corruption. Well, I have 3 of those. Man, I definitely would like to use this sooner or later, but I would need another meteorite card to do it. What can I do? I could solve this quest pretty easily because I just have to move there and play Gunter and I can solve it. But this is really good. Discarding a card to gain 2 strength has been very helpful. So I don't know that I want to do that quite yet. So instead, I think I will move and play. And I'm going to play that card and discard. Yeah, I guess I should discard this. Let's move these up a bit. Discard that, and that gives me 2 strength. And I'm going to move. Where do I want to move? Well, I want to get more cards. I could move here to the warehouse, but that only gives me access to whatever is in these 2 spots. It's adjacency. That one's not bad. I don't have a blue worker, but that's not bad. It can pay 1 guile to gain 3 strength. It's a quest to be solved. I want to solve at least 3 quests before the end of the game. I have 2 in hand, one at 16 and one at 4. 15 has not yet been revealed. It's up here somewhere. 16 is way over there. Alternatively, I could go here, which would allow me to draw 2 and keep 1. Maybe those would be a meteorite. I really ought to explore this tile before. Yeah, that's probably what I ought to do. So I did my play of this card, and now I'm going to do my move. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That way, I take that map tile away from the Automa. That's the main reason why I explore like that in the solo game, is to keep those map tokens away from the Automa. And I might want to do the same with the ones up here. All right, so this is the impact zone. Gain 2 strength, or after corruption is gone, I can meld a meteorite. So that's a 3 and 3 strength and a 3 guile go there. Okay. Automa, move the cube. We're going to move this 1, 2, 3. And Central is going to sweep that card. Put this here. That's an 11, location 11 quest. And then we're going to, doesn't have any more to explore, so it's just going to move 1. All right. What do I want to do next? Again, there are no meteorite cards out there to be had. I probably ought to explore. First, though, I'm going to move and gather. I'm going to gather first by getting 2 strength. And then I will move right up here. Get this. And that's location 14. And we put down 8 corruption. We've already revealed quite a few tiles that upgrade. And this one, so it's 5 guile and 3 strength. This one in particular just also gives a map token, which, there are some cards that deal with map tokens, and one of the mech abilities allows you to use trash map tokens for either 1 guile, 1 strength, or a coin. Unless you're playing with that particular mech, the map tokens really don't have a very positive value. I guess I could use 1 here. I'm only 1 short of using 1 to get a glory token. So, I mean, for that benefit, maybe, but, I'm only 1 short. I could literally get that in my next turn, that 5th map token. So I'm not quite sure how beneficial that particular hex is. Okay, so we are going to go here and move that cube. So this is going to collect 1 glory token. It can 2 spaces away. It can get that one. And then this one's just moving 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, interesting. So I have this card, this meteorite card, which lets me vanquish. And if I have 2 melded meteorites, I gain 1 strength per 5 corruption value. Or 5 value corruption. Well, I only have 1 melded meteorite, but that does give me, okay, yeah. So I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to move and play. I'm going to first play this card here. That gives me 2 strength, 1 for the the core value actually has 2 here because I have 1 melded meteorite. And then I'm going to play this purple worker, which lets me vanquish. I can't get the extra strength for having the 5 corruption, but it does allow me a vanquish action. So I'll take this 3. 1, 2, 3. I can't vanquish the 5 guile, but that's okay. I'll take that 3. That's not too bad. And now I am going to move, and I'm going to move here again, get that map token. I now have 5, and I could eventually boast and put a coin or put a glory token on that. Oh, and speaking of which, the 20 Tarkovsky's Lair has come out, and that's where the 20 corruption token goes. You have to have 10 guile and 10 strength. And it also has the ability that I can use the ability of an adjacent card. Well, there's only 1 card adjacent here, and right now it's the Tesla pistol. We'll see whether or not that is something I might want to use later. Okay, so that was my turn. I played and I moved. Now we have the Automa. The cube doesn't move. North would explore, but it can't get the only 2 explore tokens left are behind it, or spaces to explore are behind it, so it can't get to that. So it's going to move just once. And the central is going to move once. All right, well, I can move and gather if I want. I could move here, gather, which would bring everything back. Kind of feels like a wasted turn. If I was going to do that, I might as well just refresh, and then that would allow me to move, play, and gather next turn. I could just do a blind gather, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what's going to be here, but I'm moving right there. Take that 6th map token. What's under here? Okay. That kind of sucks. So the boast action is good, but obviously I can't get to it now because there is a bunch of corruption on it. 5 and 4, both of them guile. So that stinks. So I'm going to gather, but this allows me to sweep and then take the action of an adjacent hex. Well, right now, the only adjacent hex is this one, which just gives 1 map. And as I already discussed, that doesn't really help me much at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep, and I'm just going to sweep everything. I'm just going to take every single one of these cards and put them in the sweep pile and put out some new ones. All right, we have 2 meteorites coming out, 3 meteorites coming out. All right, so that wasn't terrible. And now I can get an adjacent. All right, fine. I'll go ahead and get another map token. Maybe I'll get a card later that will allow me to spin those or something. Okay. Yeah, so that is it. On my next turn, I'll probably need to refresh, which then will allow me to move, play, and gather in 1 turn. Maybe I can use that to get some more meteorites, maybe meld a meteorite. We will see. For right now, though, move the Automa cube. That places another star. They are getting... No, they still have a ways to move the cube to get their 8th, but they are further along than I would prefer them to be. North still can't explore because this one's behind it, so it's going to move 2, 1, 2. And Central is going to collect 1 corruption token right here. Oh, it goes right there. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh. and bring back my workers. Now I have 5 cards under my control. If I get 3 more, I can do this, put a glory token down for having 8 cards as well. I might want to go for that. I need to get more cards. All right. So now Automas again. Move the cube. And now, can it explore? Yes, it can. 1, 2, 3. Oh, first it sweeps. So it sweeps that. Now it goes 1, 2, 3. Gets that map. And we're getting, so that's 2 coins and a meld. There's a 5 guile and a 3 strength. And that is the last explore action that can be taken. And now Central will vanquish up to 3 corruption tokens. Well, it's going to do the one on the hex where it exists, and there's only 1 corruption token there. So it's the only one it's going to get. All right. So now I get to move, play, and gather. All right. Move, play, and gather. Where do I want to do that? I only have 1 guile. I need more than that if I'm going to do much vanquishing. Because all the corruption tokens that are visible require at least 3 guile, except for this one where the northern mech is. It's 3 strength. So let's see. I want this card. So what card could I play? In order to get this card here, well, I could go over here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's my move. My gather is I'm going to get 1 card. I'm going to take this card. It goes into my hand. Oh, you know what? I could do this. I'm going to go ahead, since I took this into my hand, I'm going to go ahead and play it. And that gives me 2 guile, 1, 2. That brings me up to 3. Putting a green worker here, that allows me to vanquish. I don't have 2 meteorites melded yet, so I can't take advantage of that, which says if I have 2 meteorites melded, I can gain 1 strength per 4 value corruption. I don't have a 4 value corruption. But let's see here. So I can, but this allows me to vanquish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take this 3, 1, 2, 3, and so I can't take that right now because I didn't use my companion to vanquish, but I'm well positioned to be able to boast on my next turn. So that was my move. My gather was I got the card, which then allowed me to vanquish. Yeah, okay. That may not have been the most efficient way to go about it, but I think it worked. Okay, and now it's the Automa's turn. Move the cube. All right, it's going to get up to 3 corruption tiles, which there are 2 here. And bottom's just moving twice, 1, 2. Now the central mech, the only thing left that it can do is it can get these 2 corruption tiles. That's about it. North has a few more corruption, including the level 20 corruption, which, for the purposes of the mechs, the Automa, with the purpose of the Automa, this just counts as another corruption tile. However, it prevents me from being able to get that and possibly score that on the glory track. Okay, what do I want to do next? Well, I definitely want to gather so that I can do the boast. Now, do I want to gather and move or gather and play? Let's gather and move. Yes, so we're going to gather first. And here is a meteorite that I can bring into my hand. Yes, I'm going to bring that into my hand. And I'm also going to boast because I definitely have more than 5 map tokens. So I'm putting that right there. It's my first glory token. Now, what that means is I can't boast for having 7 workers. I don't have 7 workers. I only have 4. I don't think I'm going to get to 7. But even if I did, whatever. 1, 2. Oh, no. I just want to move here. 1. Yeah, I'm just moving 1. And on my next turn, that'll allow me to gather or get an adjacent card, whatever happens to be here. Right now it's a quest. It might change. And I will be able to meld another meteorite, which I definitely want to do. I'm probably going to meld this one that I just played a moment ago. All right, so that was my turn. I gathered and I moved. All right, Automa. Cube doesn't move. North sweeps these cards. That's not bad. Maybe something I really would like will come out. Oh, I should have filled that one in. Ooh, a 4. That's an easy quest to solve. It only takes 1 guile, and it's a location 4. That's not bad. I think I'm going to go ahead and take that on my next turn. Okay, and then the mech just moves twice. 1, 2. All right. Now the central mech does have 3 glory tokens, so it's going to take, if it can get to a corruption token, which it can, 1, 2, 3, and it just takes the 1. And now we're back to me. All right, I am going to, let's see, gather and play. Now, what might I want to play? Okay, well, let's do the gather first. I'm going to get this card into my hand. We'll take a look at that later. And then I'm going to meld this meteorite, which allows me to gain 1 coin per placed worker. So right now it'll only be 1, but I do get the coins for my other melded meteorites. And so that's 1 per melded meteorite. That's 2 plus 1 for this. That's 3. So I get 3 coins. And now I'm going to play, and I think I want to play another. Yes. Ooh. Actually, I wanted to play this one. It says vanquish. Well, there's nothing to vanquish, but I do have 2 melded meteorites, so I can gain 1 strength per 5 value corruption. Is that the one I want to play? A lot of these gain strength. I don't have much that gain guile, though. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and play this card with that worker. And I'm going to rescue another card. If that card had a worker on it, gain 1 guile and 1 strength. So I move both of those up 1 and 1 strength for the core value of the card I just played. Oh, you know what? I was on that card. I could have solved that quest. But that's a really good card. I want to wait kind of late to maybe solve that one because I'm really enjoying the using that benefit. Once I solve it, I can't use it for its benefit anymore. All right, so that was my play and gather. So state of the game right now, I have 1 glory token out, 2 meteorites melded, 1 item upgraded. I don't know that I'll upgrade any more. I haven't solved any quests yet. I currently control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. If I get 1 more card, I can boast there. Ooh, which I can get 1 more card. I could move and gather, and that would get me 1 more card right there. Yeah, I may do that my next turn. All right, so I should be able to get 1 more glory token out and another card next turn. All right, Automa, move the cube. Gets 1 corruption token from the north, and Central is just going to move 1, 2, 3. All right, my turn. I'm going to move and gather right here. And so gather, I can get any card. I think I will take... I think I'll take this one. Learn about Tarkovsky's expedition. Requires a purple worker, which I have. Draw 2 cards, keep 1. If you keep a meteorite, gain a guile. That's not bad. All right, now I can boast. So refill this. I can boast, which I can do because I have 8 cards in my control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I'm going to put this star right there. Okay. So those were 2 glory tokens that were easily put with the maps and the cards. I actually could do 1 more pretty soon for corruption. And then I probably need to start on I don't know that I'll get a glory token for quests, but I need to start getting more quests. I need to have at least 3 to really maximize points at the end of the game for glory tokens. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so that was my move and gather. Shuffle up the Automa deck. This game is going to be coming to an end sooner than we realize. Feels like we're further away, but we are not. Just a few more turns, and I think this game might be over. All right, take 2 off the top. And Automa's next turn, move the cube, place its 6th star. North is going to sweep and then just move 1. South is going to collect 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, can't get there, so it's only going to move 2. 1, 2. All right, and then I think I'm going to play and gather. So first, let's gather. We're going to place 1 glory token here because we have 7. Actually, we have 8 corruption tile, but we need at least 7 for that. Now we can take any card available to us. So we've already melded 2 meteorites. How many meteorites? I have 1, 2. Okay, I have 2 more in my hand that I could meld. I really need that one. And it needs a blue worker. I don't have a blue worker, so I don't know that I'm going to get that. This meteorite needs a green worker, which I do have. Oh, that one actually might be a good one to play. It says move to any unoccupied face-up location, and if I have 2 melded meteorites, which I do, gain 1 guile per adjacent face-up card. Yeah, I'm going to get that. And then I will play the very card I just received, and that gives me 2 strength and move to any face-up location, and then gain 1 guile per adjacent face-up card. Well, I guess I could move right here and get 3 guile. Or I could move here. Yeah, I'm going to move here and I'm going to move there. That gives me 1, 2, 3 guile. 1, 2, 3. And then that prevents this mech from being able to get that. On my next turn, I might be able to play and move. And on the play, oh, I don't have the right. Okay, well, it may not work exactly the way I want it to, but for at least right now, I'm preventing that corruption token from going to the Automa. All right, so we'll figure out how to get that. Oh, you know what? I can probably vanquish. I think I can vanquish with one of my. Yeah, I can vanquish with this meteorite card using the purple worker. So I'll probably do that. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on top to remind me for my next turn. Okay, Automa. Cube doesn't move. North sweeps that card and then moves twice. 1, 2. Central cannot collect this corruption token because I'm standing there, so it's just going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I am going to play and move. The first thing I'm going to do is play. This gives me 2 strength and vanquish, placing that purple worker, and so I'm going to vanquish this for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I gain 1 strength per 5 value corruption token. I have 1, 2, 3, so I get 1, 2, 3. So I just essentially got that for free. Yeah, and maybe on my next turn, I will probably meld that meteorite since I'm there. Yeah, that may be how I get my 4th glory token, is with melded meteorites, having 4 melded meteorites, but I need to get some of these quests solved. Thankfully, I'm close enough that I think I should do that. So next turn, I will probably move and gather. Gather by melding a meteorite, and then move to one of the locations where I can solve a quest in a future turn. All right. Move the cube. It will take 1, the north will take 1 corruption token. South will just move 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we are going to gather and move. So first gather, we're going to meld a meteorite. Which one are we going to meld? So this one gives me 1 coin per 4 value corruption. I don't have any 4 value. Is that really the best one to meld? Yeah, probably so, because the only other one is this one, and that's a good one to use. So I'm not ready to meld that one quite yet, but I'll meld it in a minute. So I get 1 per 4 value corruption. That's none. 1 per placed worker. That's 3. Right. And then 1 per melded meteorite. That also is 3. Okay. All right. So that was my. That was my gather. So now I'm going to move. So I have 2 4s and a 3. think I'm going to move to 4 and solve that quest pretty soon. Yeah, because I can solve it with this red worker and my character on the next turn. Okay, so Automa, move the cube. That's the 7th glory token. See, they're only 2 more cube moves away from ending the game themselves. I may not get a chance to put my 4th glory token out, and I've got to solve some of these quests. All right. So this is, if it was near enough, if there were 5 glory tokens out, which there are, they have 7 out, and it's near enough to the 20 corruption token, it would take that. It's not. The 20 is 2 behind, so it's just going to move 2. Central is going to sweep and then move 3. Oh, shoot. I placed the wrong one. I should have swept these. Anyway, still. Okay. Sorry for the dog noises. The dogs are making a lot of noise while I'm playing right now all of a sudden. Okay, so it swept, and now it's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I had moved the wrong mech earlier, but thankfully it was the right distance, so it didn't really change much. Okay, so now I can, do I want to play and move or play and get? I probably want to play and move. So I'm going to play Gunter with this token, and I'm going to solve this quest by paying 1 guile, and oh, that lets me rescue a card. What card do I want to rescue? I think I want to rescue Gunter. I get the core value of each one, so that gives me a guile. I want to rescue Gunter because I think I want to then solve this other quest as well on my next turn. That will give me another one. Yeah. All right, the cube doesn't move. That's really good. However, this goes 1, 2, and gets that corruption token. And Central just moves once. Okay. I think now I am going to... Well, I can't move and play again, unfortunately. I don't really need I guess I could get another worker. It doesn't really make a difference. So I can't move. What I'd really like to do is move and play, but I can't do that again. So, yeah, I guess just play and gather. So I'll get, I guess, a green worker. Yeah. And now I'm going to solve again. Red. This location 4, that costs 1 strength. And it gets me a free item card. So strength goes down. Then I get the core value of both my solved quests, and I can get a free item card. This one's not bad. Move, and whenever I move, I can move through face-down locations without stopping. This is really not a good card to get late in the game, but it is a free move whenever you play, so I don't know, maybe. I don't really see myself using that much, if at all. But now I have 2 solved quests. Okay. And yeah, I'm looking to see, is there a way for me to solve on my next turn, but there isn't. I may want to go ahead and meld my 4th meteorite instead. So we'll see how that goes. Automa, move the cube. It can take another corruption token. And then bottom or central just moves 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, let's move and gather. So we are going to go, let's see. Yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3, I guess. Because I want to get to the boast pretty soon as well. So, but for right now, we are going to meld a meteorite. So this, again, this is my 4th. Gain 1 coin per 5 value corruption. That's 1, 2, 3. And then gain 1 coin per 4 value corruption. I don't have any. 1 coin per placed worker, max of 5. I have 3. And then 1 coin per melded meteorite. I have 4. It doesn't have a max listed there, so I guess I can go ahead and get 4 coins. Got 5. And while we're at it, let's start making some change here, shall we? So this is 15. So let's get a 10 and a 5. So this is why I love getting all the meteorites, because it really gets you a lot of coins, which obviously are points in this game. All right, so I did a move and a gather. And I have my 4 melded meteorites. Hopefully, well, they're probably going to move it 1 more turn. So at most, I at least have 1 more turn, in which case I can boast there. I really would like to be able to boast and solve 1 more quest, which I could solve at 16. That's too far. That's way over there. Or 3, that's down there. Oof, I probably am not going to get that 3rd quest solved. Let's see what I can do. Yep, sure enough. I took the first turn of the game, and so I'm going to get only 1 more turn left. So moved. This place is down here. It can't get to the 20 value corruption, so it just moves 1, 2, 3. Central moves 1, 2. Glad it didn't move a 3rd to move to cover up that spot, because I really need that boast spot. And so now it's my turn. This is my last turn. The Automa will get 1 more turn, and I am going to. I think. Oh boy. Oh, glad I got this card actually. That jetpack that I didn't think would be very valuable, but this is going to allow me to move and gather. I can't move and I can't move and gather, but I can play this. Well, it gives me 1 more strength. Place that there. The worker. This allows me to move, and whenever you move, you may move through face down locations. Don't need to do that, but it allows me to move right there. Now I'm going to gather. I'm going to place my 4th glory token here for having 4 melded meteorites. And I'm not going to get the best multiplier for having solved 3 or more quests, but I did place my 4th glory token. So that's the end of my game. Automa gets 1 more turn, doesn't move the cube anymore, only moves this once, moves this once, and that is the game. All right, so let's total up the scores and see where it came out. Okay, so I calculated the scores, and for level 3, the Automa gets 1 point per map token. They have 8 map tokens for 8 points. 2 points per corruption tile. They have 14 corruption tiles for 28 points. And then they get 5 points for each glory token. They had 8 glory tokens, so that's 40 points for a total of 76 points. 76. So 8 for map tiles, 28 for corruption tokens, and 40 for glory tokens. So I score differently. I get just straight up coins, which I got 20. So 20 points for coins. I only had this one upgraded item, which gave me 4, and then 8 points or 8 coins per glory token because I only had 2 completed quests. So for glory, I got 32. And then corruption tiles, I get 2 points each. I had 9, so that's 18, for a total of 74 points. So the Automa had 76, I had 74. I lost by 2 points. So there was a close loss against level 3. I'd never played level 3 before, but it was a little bit more, definitely more of a challenge than level 2, and was unsuccessful. So that was a solo playthrough of Expedition. So as you saw, I was playing on the level 3 Automa. There are 5 total. They vary in the length of time that the Automa has to place its 8 stars. They also vary in how many points they get for their map tokens, their corruption tokens, and their glory stars. As you saw on level 3, I just barely lost by 2 points. I've only played, that's only the second time that I've played on level 3. I think the first time I lost by like 6 or 7 points, something in that area. I've beaten level 2 a number of times at this point, so I really feel like I'm getting close to beating level 3. And I really thought I was going to do it this time. I really thought that I had a chance, but when the totals came out, it just wasn't going to happen. I have no idea how anybody is expected to beat like a level 5. That just feels ridiculously hard. I don't know, maybe nobody's intended to. Maybe that's meant to be like a short game where you just know you're going to get your butt kicked and you're just trying to mitigate how badly the end game actually is. I'm not sure. But I'm still working on 3. I have a separate video that's going up with my thoughts and review of the game, so feel free to click on over to see some of that. But in any case, if you like this video, I would ask that you please share it, like it, comment. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts about it. Like I spoiled earlier in this video, I really like this game. I can see why some people might not, and you'll hear a little bit of that in my review, but I really like it, and I can't wait to play more of this. So until next time, I'll be making my way to the factory as the champion faction. Bye.